Hey everyone, Mitch coming in for the Commander's Core Studio. Welcome to the show. So on today's episode, I've got a great one for you. The most fun budget commanders to build this spring. The best budget brews of 2026 so far. Well, the ones that I would be building so far this year, I should say. Let's jump into them. First off, let's talk about a somewhat newer commander with Doran, Besieged by Time, a 0/5 Treefolk Druid for 4 mana in Absent. Each creature spell you cast with toughness greater than its power cost 1 to cast, so bigger toughness creatures, lower power, cost less to cast. That's lovely. Oh, and by the way, if we have a big gap between that power and toughness, well, whenever that creature attacks, it gets +X until the end of turn, where X is the difference. So essentially, well, a big toughness creature deck is going to be what we have in store for this commander, and there's some really exciting things that we can do with this. Again, it's helping out in 2 aspects. Number 1, it is helping us with, well, cost reduction, which is amazing, saving us so much mana throughout the game, helping us cast creatures quicker. And then also, it really helps us with, well, I mean, just really hitting hard, attacking or blocking. All of a sudden, our giant creature that has a lot of toughness, again, usually good for blocking, now it's just impossible to get through. Number 1, we'll take out basically any creature. Number 2, and of course, if we can find ways to maybe make those walls attack, if we have walls, which we got plenty of ways to do that, or again, those creatures that just have a big toughness and a low power and aren't walls, yeah, we could also be hitting harder than anyone else on the board as well. Such a fun new commander. Pick it up, build around it, and yeah, on a budget, it really can hit hard. The other somewhat newer commander I want to bring up too is High Perfect Morcant, a 4/4 Elf Noble for 4 mana in Golgari. Whenever another elf enters, each opponent blights 1, which means they each put a -1 counter on 1 creature they control. Oh, so sad. By the way, by tapping 3 untapped elves you control, you proliferate only at sorcery speed. Wizards did limit that a little bit. Again, you can't just be like, okay, I hold up all my giant army of elves, and before my turn, tap them all, proliferate. Yay! You do have to commit. That being said, well, you kind of don't have to in some ways too. I mean, there are certain ways out there, like Vitalize or just like Seedborn Muse repeat ones, to be able to untap your army again and again and again on a budget. Yeah, again, like those more like Vitalize ones, you know, there's that elf that like, hey, I attack, I untap all creatures. Cool. Anyways, being able to essentially go, all right, I tap all my elves down. Again, I'm going to have an absurd amount of elves in play because it's elf ball, right? So let's say I've got 12 elves in play, okay? I proliferate 4 times. That's incredible. Number 1, I mean, you can go with Planeswalkers to go, so, you know, ultimate abilities very quickly. You can go with Poison as well. Ouch, opponents are going to get taken out really quickly. You can stick with -1 counters. You can go +1 counters. However you want to go about it, you can get an insane amount of counters out there. Charge counters as well. All the types of counters. You can do insane things with this one. And then also go, yeah, you thought I was like tapped out with all my creatures and I was in trouble. No, I cast Vitalize, I untap my entire team, and all of a sudden, I'm back at it. So yeah, you can do some really spicy things with this one. Again, it's elves in a different direction, and again, elves that can go in a lot of directions. So yeah, spring clean out your collection right now and look through those cards that you say, oh wait, you know, actually, that could go really well in a Super Friends build with this. That could go really well in a Charge Counters build with this. That could go really well in a Counters build with this. You can do a lot of fun things with this one. Next up, or maybe this spring you wanna, well, throw some haymakers with Baylen. Baylen the Haymaker is a 4/3 Rabbit Warrior for 3 mana and Naya. Tap 2 untap tokens you control, add 1 mana of any color. Tap 3 untap tokens you control, draw a card. Tap 4 untap tokens you control, put 3 counters on Baylen the Haymaker against triple to have turn. Yeah, this is one where, I don't know, with spring, it just made me think, okay, rabbits. Yeah, there you go. Okay. All right, yeah, hitting incredibly hard with rabbits. You don't have to go rabbit tribal with this one. You definitely probably shouldn't when it comes to the most effective way to build around it. This one is, again, a very, very hyper-efficient way of utilizing things to tap them to get different benefits. Again, kind of like Morcant, but this one more so, again, no limitation to just sorcery speed, which, again, is pretty absurd. Being able to tap any kind of tokens, again, any tokens can be, again, creature tokens? Sure, yeah, sure, absolutely. Or like a food token. Yeah, you can just do that. So being able to go, okay, I get mana, I get card advantage, again, 2 of the most important things in Commander, and sure, I guess I could also make this into a, well, I mean, the game-winning force, essentially, out there by making this extremely large, and, you know, giving a trample and hitting my opponents. That being said, yeah, being able to just flood the board with an insane amount of tokens, you're in the perfect color combination for that. utilize them for, well, card draw, value. Of course, if you are going creature token heavy, you again can utilize those cards like I just mentioned, Vitalize, or yeah, 2 arms, those types of cards. In white and green, you've got a lot of ways to untap your entire team. So you can go, okay, cool, get more mana, draw more cards, do more things, do it again and again and again. It is one that can hit so incredibly hard, so much fun, even on a budget, absolutely on a budget. Check out my episode on it. Pick it up. Moving on, Flubs the Fool, a 0/5 Frog Scout for 3 mana in Teamer. Play to land on each of your turns. Whenever you play a land or cast a spell, draw a card if you got no cards in hand. Otherwise, discard a card. Yeah, this one's pretty crazy, pretty awesome, pretty amazing. This is one where essentially you go, hey, you know what? I'm going to build this deck that is incredibly unique. I'm going to say, you know what? We're just throwing, essentially everything out there when it comes to, I don't know, taking the biggest risks in Commander, having no hand, and just playing with careless recklessness that, a fool would do. And that is what I guess a Spring Commander's about to me. I don't know. This Commander, art just spoke Spring to me. That's why I thought about this one. Anyways, being able to play extra lands in your turns, lovely. Get extra lands in play. Being able to get way ahead of your opponents, that's great. When you play a land or cast a spell, again, you draw cards if you're just handless. If you got nothing in your hand, great, I can do cool things. Otherwise, you discard cards. You're losing out on cards, which is absolutely hilarious. So being able to, again, maybe utilize cards that force you to get down to that 1 card in hand so that you can then keep going and churning and churning and churning and churning. Ways to actually, start your turn off, drawing extra cards, but then your end of your turn just losing your entire hand. There's a lot of effective ways of utilizing some really weird and off-the-wall cards with this one. Make sure you check out my deck tech on it. It is so much fun. A great Spring Commander. Next up, okay, here's where I went with this one. Springing into action. Get it? No? Okay. Anyways, Kaalia of the Vast is an oldie but a goodie. A 2/2 human cleric with flying for 4 mana in Mardu. Attacks an opponent, you may put an angel, demon, or dragon creature card from your hand on the battlefield tapped and attacking that opponent. Here's the thing about this one. Many players out there might believe that you need an incredibly high budget to play around this one. Absolutely not. There are so many amazing angel, demons, and dragon budget-friendly cards out there. I mean, you could do you can actually do tribal decks kind of around each of them individually. And with this commander, you can go whatever direction you want. Do you want to focus on one specifically and get all the kind of the tribal elements of that? Do you just want to pick the best of the best out of each of them? Whatever direction you want to go with it, again, you can spring into action with it. And of course, being able to take advantage of any kind of massive ETBs you might have from those creatures, being able to bounce them back to your hand, being able to get them back out again. Yeah, it is a lot of fun. A very, very solid commander, and one that, benefits you from having a bunch of hasty things that you can, make sure that this swings right away. And then you can just surprise your opponents very, very quickly. Like, oh yeah, turn 4, already swinging. All right, cheating in to play this giant thing. All right, opponent, how you doing? They're like, oh goodness, there's a giant dragon swinging. I mean, it's super early and I've got 3 lanes in play. And you're like, yeah, is it magic fun? Goodbye. Next up, spring to me also screams possibilities. And when I talk about, possibilities, one thing that does come to mind is, Wooburg, obviously. A 5-color commander, and Kenny, the Returned King, is the perfect 5-color commander when it comes to hey, you know what? I kind of want to do whatever I want to do with this deck. I just want a solid commander that just I can just throw all the good stuff cards in there if I really want to, or I can take it whatever direction I want. Look, Kenny, you can take in any direction. It is a toolbox commander, a 5/5 human noble for 4 mana in white, but it is a Wooburg commander because it has, here we go. Pay a red, all creatures gain triple haste until turn. Pay 1 in a green, put a counter to target creature. Pay 2 in a white, target player 5 life. Pay 3 in a blue, target player draws a card. Pay 4 in a black, target okay, I messed up on the last part. Okay, I was talking too fast. Anyways, put a creature from a graveyard on the battlefield and source control. Basically, with this one, again, it does everything you could ever want it to do. And it does present itself as potentially a group hug commander, because that you can benefit opponents. So, sure, you could go in that direction. You can go combo with it, of course. You definitely can do that. I mean, it's definitely a mana sink for you to just win the game. It can actually combo itself with the kind of that reanimation thing, essentially. There's some creatures that can combo with that, too. That being said, you can just go, oh, yeah, let's go find some really good cards to throw in the deck. Or you can go oh, yeah, counter synergies, targeting synergies, life gain synergies. It has so many possibilities, and as a spring commander, again, new year, new possibilities. I thought it was a good one to point out that, you know what, building around Kenny, always a good choice. Make sure you check out my episode on it. Next up, spring. How about, more so, the possibilities of a commander that is incredibly unique and just opening up a whole new world when it comes to thinking about how to build around a commander. Henzie Toolbox Story does that for you. A 3/3 Devil Rogue for 3 mana in Jund. Each creature spell you cast with mana value 4 or greater has Blitz. The Blitz cost equal to its mana cost. And again, that means you can choose to cast for its Blitz cost. If you do, it gains haste. And when it dies, draw a card, sacrifice for your next end step. On top of that, Blitz cost you pay costs 1 less for each time you cast your commander for the command zone this game. This is one of the very few commanders that says, hey, you know what I want you to do? Get rid of me. I mean, basically with this one, essentially, again, you get more and more and more value, the more and more in time. You recast this one. Now, unfortunately, again, Wizards did think through this. Not like the number of times you've cast it. No, it's like the number of times from the command zone you've cast it. So you have to keep paying more and more and more for it. That being said, obviously, you've got green, you've got ramp, you've got other ways to take advantage of that. You've got ways to potentially reduce the cost of it. By playing it more and more and more, though, you can reduce the cost of your creatures down to, well, I mean, if they're like, artifact creatures or colorless creatures, like absolutely nothing. Or essentially, if they are a creature that has, a pip, that's fine. You can still play them with the pip. It just costs like almost nothing there too. And some might even give you mana when they come into play. You can build some really exciting and unique decks around this one. It is one, again, that goes in a different direction again. A commander that says, hey, get rid of me. If you get rid of me, I make your deck stronger. You, of course, can combo in certain ways, too. It is so much fun, though, even if you're not comboing. It's such a fun, budget-friendly commander that can go in so many different directions. Pick it up. Next up, Spring Cleaning. That's the direction I'm going with this one. Hashaton, Scarab's Fist, a 1/3 zombie wizard for 2 mana, but it is an Esper commander. Because whenever you discard a creature card, you can pay 2 and a blue. If you do, create a tapped token that's a copy of that card, except it's a 4/4 black zombie. This one is a commander that says, hey, you know what? I'm just, cleaning things up. Don't worry about what I'm doing over here. I've got discard outlets in play, okay? Because I need to get rid of some things. I need to clean out my hand. Oh, and by the way, when I do that, I'm going to pay 3 mana and make a copy of it, basically. Oh, sure, it's only a 4/4. Don't worry about that. But again, whatever massive ETBs I have for that creature are going to happen, whatever massive triggers that's going to have, whatever massive effects it's going to have, I can do this out of nowhere. I kind of like have a Vidalcan Orrery in some ways, and like, hey, you just pay 3 mana for whatever creature you want in some ways too. Because once you get those free discard outlets in play, there is no stopping the spring cleaning aspect of this commander that will just, well, spring clean your opponents out of the game as well. Make sure you check out my episode on this one. It is a lot of fun, a blast to build, a blast to play. Pick it up. Okay, this one's a bit of a stretch, but okay, it's from my childhood, all right, and this is the episode that I made, so I decided to go with the commanders that, just meant the most spring to me right now, and Shorikai Genesis Engine does that because, well, I see this, I think, Gundam, and I think, like, Saturday morning cartoons, stuff like that, essentially, and so with that, well, yeah, like, okay, it's springtime, it's nice out, but, like, before my day starts, I kind of need to watch my Saturday morning cartoons, so let's stick with that. 8/8 vehicle for 4 mana and Azorius. Pay 1, tap, draw 2 cards, discard a card, create a 1/1 pilot that can, crew vehicles as power 2 or greater, crew 8. So this one, and also I guess it says can be your commander because that had to be said back then. Here's the thing about this one. I mean, yeah, it's an 8/8 that you do have to crew up to be able to actually attack with it, and it hits incredibly hard, absolutely. But it's also an amazing draw engine for you and creature token generator for you. You just pay 1 mana, you tap, and you're, well, technically only up 1 card, right? You draw 2, discard 1, but still you're churning through your deck in absolutely no time. You've got plenty of ways to untap this in this color combination. You keep making more and more and more tokens that you can just use as jump blockers if you really need to, or you can use to crew this if you want to as well. But yeah, being able to just go, okay, draw, discard, draw, discard, draw, discard, dig down into your deck, take advantage of those draws, take advantage of maybe doubling up those draws, like a Thought Reflection, Fairies Age's Insight. You can do a lot of exciting things with this one where you can really, really, really go in a lot of different directions if you want. You don't have to utilize this as like a Voltron commander, but can always be like a backup option to win the game with it too. You can go control. You can go really hard into all vehicles if you really want to as well. There's a lot of directions you can take it. It's a lot of fun. Check it out. And finally, Y'shtola Knight's Bless. Now, this one is also a stretch where I was thinking about, okay, spring, or at the end of school, like just, finally getting toward the end and like, okay, come on, just get me there, all right? The last days of school, we just need to get there for summer. Come on, summer's almost here. Maybe think about Y'shtola, because a 2/4 cat warlock with vigilance for 4 mana and Esper says at the beginning of each end step, if a player lost 4 more life this turn, you may draw a card. You have to. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell of mana value 3 or greater, Y'shtola is going to deal 2 damage to each opponent, you gain 2 life. This is one where, okay, you say, you know what? Normally, players might think, okay, how can I make my opponents lose 4 life? Well, okay, that's a bit more of a task to do every single turn. But if you're risky, you can go, how can I just make myself lose 4 life each turn? Therefore, being able to make sure I always draw those cards. Again, you are pushing it to the limit. You are just trying to get there. You're just saying, you know what, school, it's almost summertime. It's almost there. I'm going to get there quickly by saying, you know what, let's just, get the life total down with this. It makes sense to me, okay? Anyways, being able to just choose when you're drawing those cards and going like, yeah, I can sacrifice 4 life this turn, whatever. Mischievous Poltergeist, I pay 1 life each time. Lose life, those life setting cards, I like to call them, like the, hey, keep paying 1 life whenever you want to type cards. So lose that life. Obviously have ways to gain it back. Obviously have ways to life swap. It's a fun commander though. Check it out, pick it up. And with that, this episode is coming to a close. As always, comment below with your thoughts on it. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.